But now, we are off to... I think we need to go back to Gardania. Head back over here to the Carline Canopy, so we can go talk to Mother Mione. Welcome back, Raspberry. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Beteron's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. Aver is gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to hell's with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by the way, of some parting advice, get rid of Aver's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just... get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Aver. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Seen 12 people carrying the head of somebody who died? That's kind of a lot. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. So there is actually a side quest involving Edda. Well, there's a couple little side things involving her. Well, where you find out why she kept Aver's head. I'm not sure if I will get around to doing that, but we'll see. It's not part of the main story quest. Like I said, it's a side quest. For now, we'll continue story. Mione has an information on a new task. So, you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but now I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Raspberry, and good luck. Someone's having fun. This guy is pointing to him. And this is the purpose of emotes. To stand on a table and dance. Let's see. Olda. We're gonna be hidden. Wait. Is this Winnie the Pooh? No, he just looks like him. I feel like I've run into someone named Winnie the Pooh before. That's cute, though. Sometimes you'll find people in fun outfits. Here we go. Here's the quicksand. We'll talk to Momodi. And stand on a chair, I guess, while we do it. Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to. Judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Raspberry Gelato by any chance? Mion sent word that you'd be reportin' for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise comin' from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Momodi is waiting to brief you on the task. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Papa Shan! Excellent timing, Papa Shan. Just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. If you're wondering why I like Papa Shan, it's mostly just that he's cute and also his name is Papa Shan, which sounds like Papa John's pizza. But he's better than Papa John's. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, milady. I am Papa Shan, formerly of the Sultan Sworn. Thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Raspberry of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatoncheires. Hecatoncheires? Not actually sure. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecatoncheires to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatoncheires, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. Said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rise in demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in western Thanaland. Do take care, you hear? Ah, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Okay, so what is... Feed on nothing? Well, okay, Aji. Hands on nothing, too. So you can tell this is a very good game. Oh, Aji says he's planking. That makes sense. Here's Painted Mesa. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I hope you've got skills to go with 'em, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The hecatoncheries have left the place in a right state, and nary a week after minin' resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Old Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of 'em will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Alright, so we gotta go fight some giants. Sounds kind of like a shitty business to me, but... Go ahead and grab this Ethernet shard. And I need to see where exactly I need to go. Okay, I need to go to Western Thanaland. Fortunately, the way to get to there is all the way on the other side. Passing through Old Dock. Alright, we're out of the city. Oh, looks like our whale taxi is here. Oop. There we go. Away, whale taxi. You can see Thanaland is a little more deserty compared to Lominsa. Wait, no, it's Lenosha. There we go. Here we go. There's been an incident inside the Copperbell mines. We are here to ensure the effects are contained, but for your safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. Well, I'm actually supposed to go in. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the hecatoncheires? I didn't think that Papa Shan would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see into them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. Alright, looks like we're ready to go again. Got Aji ready to go with me. So we go again into the duty finder. There we go. Maybe. There we go. We had an AFK DPS. I think we can get through this yet, so... Got a lift. Let's see, I think... I don't remember which way it faces. Might face... Yep, it faces this way. Let's go. Okay, I guess they didn't fix the weird aggro stuff in this one, or there are some of these Spriggans who don't like to follow. Which is kind of funny. Here we got our first giant. Used to be fire sand there. Guess there's not anymore. Oh. Guess all of it's in here now. Wait, are we missing somebody? Oh, it looks like they DC'd. That happens sometimes. Go ahead and blow this up. Yay! Oh, is this just a regular boss encounter now? I mean, that's fine with me. Was that a tank buster? Oh, there's mechanics. Yeah, so this is my first time doing this dungeon since it was overhauled. So I see they actually made this like an actual boss encounter. Previously, how it happened was, enemies gradually trickled into this room and then he came at the very end. But now, he's an actual boss with actual mechanics. Oh. Aju's trailing behind. There we go. Is that it in here? I guess so. Get to blow stuff up again. Yeah. This, I believe, has changed as well. There used to be kind of weird mechanics. But I think now it's just a straight up boss that you DPS down. You used to have to explode it. Or these... No, these just explode. Not very hard. Stay out of the orange circles. And we're done. Okay. Treasure coffer. Not getting a whole lot of gear for me. That's okay. Ooh, they updated this. Okay. Gonna bet that he's got some new mechanics. Yep. Tank Buster. I have very little mitigation at this point in the game. Thankfully it doesn't hit too hard. Female Rogan victory animation is pretty cute. Let's see what we got. Nothing for me. Well, that's the third one. Now, time to continue story. Well, Aji, thanks for all your help. I'll be seeing you later. Off he goes. Not very far. Aww. You'll be okay. Grubby'll get him up. It'll be fine. Okay, now back to Old Da. We've still got some story to do regarding this. If I remember correctly, we've got a big old cutscene coming up too. Hope that guy didn't pass out from heat exhaustion. It's been hot lately. Yep, we got a duty coming up. Okay, Painted Mesa, let's see what you got for us. Sync to level 21. We are already to level 26. I think part of that was because Aji had his Burger King crown on, which just means that he's a mentor, and was able to use that to give me an experience boost. I didn't think you were a fighting mentor. I thought you were just a crafting mentor.
I am just a crafting mentor. The boost applies regardless for some reason.
So, pro tip, if you got someone who's a crafting mentor, they can still help you level up. Alright. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Old Da will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papashan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. No! Something's going on outside. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. But please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this, paid for it with me own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice piece of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 as me witness. Please, adventurer, help me, I beg o' ye. I swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. Well, Raspberry's not gonna sit by and let these guys accuse her. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot teach them a lesson. We'll see who's gonna teach who a lesson. Go ahead and switch to the mage here. And we'll get this guy. He's supposed to be a paladin? His defense sucks. Guess he wouldn't be a paladin, he'd be a gladiator. But still. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hells do you think you're going? Thank ye, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. Uh-oh. I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Yeah, that makes sense. Refugees coming, and that means that there's lawlessness. If it wasn't obvious, I was being sarcastic. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff. It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you can be sure some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Maybe you should, make it better for people who are poor? That sounds like an obvious way to handle that, but Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins. Get your dodo tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. And there we see the lady we just saved was, in fact, buying her dodo meat. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. So the politics in this game are not exactly great, if that little cutscene wasn't obvious. Madam, are you alright? I'm fine, just had a vision. It happens. What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? Grr, I will overlook this, but just this once. Guess we got him on someone calling him a vulture. God's bless ye, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. It don't bear thinking about. Alright, miss, go and enjoy your dodo meat. Ever the selfless hero, I see. It's been a while, adventurer. Y'shtola's back. I have been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you have displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whensoever you came upon those in need, you gave them succor with no thought of personal gain. In summary, you have demonstrated all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it to or not. It is a happy knack, and one which speaks volumes for your character. Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift which intrigues me most. I speak of the visions you experience. Visions like the one you had mere moments ago, if I am not mistaken. I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the selfsame talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause. A cause which would greatly benefit for your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we should be glad to do all within our power to aid you in your personal endeavors. Think on my offer a while. Should you decide to accept it, pray speak with Momodi. The proprietress of the quicksand is a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you have been chosen by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and she will tell you where to find us. Well, now we're finally gonna get into the meat of the story. Of ARR, at least. Let's go talk to Momodi. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the womenfolk from time to time. Ah, Raspberry. Sorry to keep you waiting. Was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But God, it's good to see you safe and well, and to look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with the giants in the dark. You're every ilm the adventurer Mion said you'd be, Raspberry. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. And here's Ada again. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Ada. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry, we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was ARR, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you were, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I am inspired, just as ARR once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask you your name. Raspberry Gelato. I shan't forget. Thank you, Raspberry Gelato. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. So things don't go so well for Ada, in general. If we end up seeing her again, it will not be under great circumstances. But we'll see if I decide to do those side quests. Adventuring can be cruel, bleedin' business. Time was I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post. And I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Raspberry. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Raspberry, the scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. So with that, I think we're going to be done for tonight. When I come back next time, I think we're actually going to take a break from story and do some of our class quests, since I believe I actually have 2 sets of class quests to go through. We want to get through those before we continue story here with Momodi. But we went through all of our first dungeons, had a pretty good time. Now we're starting to get into some of the deeper stuff in the story. We're going to go talk to the scions of the Seventh Dawn. And they will be major characters in pretty much the rest of the story, including the X-Packs. So, that'll be fun once we get to it. Thanks for hanging out with me again. And I hope you'll all come back when I record more and upload it. Hope you have a good night.